Hello students, today we will be studying Histology of GIT, Large Intestine Part 1. Now in Large Intestine there are two important slides. One is Histology of the colon and the other is Histology of vermiform appendix. So today in this Part 1 video we will be studying the general features of large intestine, and then we will study one important slide, and that is of Histology of colon. Now, large intestine consists of four parts, namely cecum, vermiform appendix, colon, rectum and anal canal. Colon is further divided into four parts: ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon and sigmoid colon. Now this we see a diagram which shows us the large intestine, which measures about 1.5 meters in length, and we see the parts here: cecum, vermiform appendix, the colon, which has got four parts: the ascending colon, the transverse colon, descending colon and sigmoid colon, and finally the rectum and the anal canal. Gross anatomy of large intestine. Large intestine shows three cardinal features: tinea coli, saculations and appendices epiploicae. Tinea coli. These are three thickened bands of longitudinal smooth muscle fibers of the muscularis externa. Now here the muscularis externa does show two layers, inner circular and outer longitudinal layer. But this outer longitudinal layer is thickened at 3 points, and that is what forms three thick bands, and those bands are called as tinea coli. These tinea coli are absent in some parts of the large intestine. So they are absent in the vermiform appendix, rectum and anal canal. All other parts of large intestine show presence of tinea coli. This picture here is from a dissection specimen. What we see here is the large intestine. This thick band of longitudinally running smooth muscle fibers is the tinea coli. So there are three such bands along the circumference of the large intestine. Another feature which is seen here is the saculations. These are outpouchings that are seen in the wall of the large intestine. Now why are these seen? We said that the entire length of the large intestine is about 1.5 meter. And if we measure the length of the tinea coli, they measure only about 1 meter. Thus, the area or the wall of the large intestine between adjacent bands of tinea coli will be outpouched or puffed up, and that is what gives rise to these dilatations, which are called as saculations on gross, and they are called as hausturations when we see them in the X-ray plates. And the third feature, what we also see here, is the appendices epiploicae. These are nothing but small fat-filled pockets covered with peritoneum, which are seen on the outermost part of the wall of the large intestine. So three cardinal features of large intestine that are seen on gross appearance: tinea coli, saculations and appendices epiploicae. So saculations, nothing but dilatations of the colon wall, and appendices epiploicae, which are small pockets of fat covered with peritoneum. These are seen on the outer surface of the large intestine. Again, a diagram of the large intestine showing us these three features: the tinea coli, thickened band of the longitudinal smooth muscle fibers of muscularis externa, the saculations or the dilatations, and the appendices epiploicae. Now we go on to study the slide Histology of colon. Now transverse section of colon shows 4 layers from within outwards. the mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa and serosa or adventitia. Mucosa. This consists of the three parts, the lining epithelium, lamina propria and muscularis mucosae. It shows presence of mucosal folds, which is a characteristic feature of the colon. Epithelium. Colon is lined by simple columnar epithelium with number of goblet cells. Epithelial cells show microvilli which give rise to the striated border on the absorptive cell. Mucosal lining has a smooth surface with no plica circularis or villi. Glands. Lamina propria shows short, simple tubular intestinal glands or crypts of Lieberkühn. Glands are lined by simple columnar cells with many goblet cells. Stem cells are located at the bottom of the gland. Enteroendocrine cells and caveolated tuft cells are also present. The lifespan of the surface epithelial cells and goblet cells is 5 to 6 days. Colon does not have Paneth cells. Large intestine performs absorption of water and electrolytes and production of mucin that lubricates its contents. This here we see a diagram of the histology of colon. We see here the luminal surface. This here is the mucosa, the submucosa, the muscularis externa, and finally the serosa or adventitia. The mucosa as is seen here shows all the three parts, the lining epithelium, the lamina propria and the muscularis mucosae. Lining epithelium as is seen here is made up of simple columnar epithelium and many goblet cells. Lamina propria shows thick collagen fibers and discrete lymphatic nodules. Muscularis mucosae shows smooth muscle fibers arranged as inner circular and outer longitudinal layers. Submucosa consists of dense, irregular connective tissue. No Brunner's glands or Peyer's patches are seen here. So this again here, the same diagram showing us the lamina propria, which contains discrete lymphoid aggregation. Lower part shows the crypts of Lieberkühn or the intestinal glands, and this here is a section passing through such an intestinal gland. Lower part of the mucosa shows muscularis mucosae having inner circular and outer longitudinal layers of smooth muscle fibers. This here is the submucosa made up of dense irregular connective tissue, collagen fibers, few smooth muscle fibers and blood vessels. Muscularis externa consists of thin inner circular and outer longitudinal smooth muscle fiber layers. The longitudinal fibers here form three thick bundles which are called as the tinea coli. And because of shorter length of the tinea coli as compared to the length of the colon wall, the large intestine shows presence of saculations, which are nothing but dilatations or outpouchings that are seen in the wall of the colon in between the adjacent tinea coli. This here is the muscularis externa showing inner circular and outer longitudinally arranged smooth muscle fibers, and this here what you see a thickened band of the outer longitudinal layer of smooth muscle fiber is the tinea coli. Next we see outermost serosa or adventitia. Colon is covered by connective tissue and peritoneum except along its retroperitoneal parts. It shows presence of pockets of fat covered by peritoneum, which is mesothelium or simple squamous epithelium known as appendices epiploicae. So what we see here, outermost layer is the serosa or adventitia, showing connective tissue with adipocytes, blood vessels, and some nerve fibers. Now what we see here is a low power view of an H&E stain slide of colon. What we see here is the luminal surface, a mucosal fold showing the lining epithelium, part of the mucosa. We also see the intestinal glands in the lower part of the mucosa, the lamina propria, the muscularis mucosae, and some part of the submucosa and muscularis externa is seen here. A slightly higher power view of the same shows us a clear view of the mucosal fold. This here is mucosa showing the lining epithelium, crypts of Lieberkühn, muscularis mucosae. Also seen here is the submucosa and the muscularis externa, the two layers, inner circular and outer longitudinal layers. This here is an Aperio image-scope picture of histology of colon. This here is a scanner view which shows us the mucosal fold, and this area here is magnified in this picture to show us the mucosa, the lining epithelium which consists of simple columnar epithelium and many goblet cells. All these empty looking cells are the goblet cells that are seen in the lining epithelium. Lower part showing the intestinal glands or crypts of Lieberkühn, and this here is the muscularis mucosae. This is the submucosa, dense irregular connective tissue, and this is the muscularis externa, inner circular and the outer longitudinal layers of the muscularis externa, and finally some part of the serosa is also seen here. The salient features for spotting in a slide of histology of colon transverse section would be presence of mucosal folds but no villi, presence of numerous goblet cells in the mucosal lining epithelium, and presence of prominent tinea coli. For further reference, you can read Sontakle Yogesh, Textbook of Human Histology by CBS Publishers and Distributors Private Limited, New Delhi, 2020, page numbers 217 to 219. Thank you.